Hey Anna, so I wanted to create this video to show you how to work Elementor. So obviously once you get into the pages and you go to career certification programs, um, basically this is the only one that you'll have to go into that is from Elementor. So you'll click on edit with Elementor. And then once that loads, you'll come into this section here, which is essentially your Elementor panel. And so as you can see, this area to the left is where essentially all of the Elementor elements reside. Just quickly to just orient yourself with this, if you're trying to get back out of this area, you'll click on the menu tab here, and you can click on exit to dashboard. You can also view the page here as well, right? And then you click back if you wanted to get back to this area. So this is really about creating content over to this site here, but obviously the focus is, what is already existing. So if you wanted to change something, you can actually just mouse over the element, kind of similar to Visual Composer. There's a pencil tool, and that really kind of means, if you want to edit. So if I click on here to edit, as you can see, each bullet point is actually a drop down. If I click it, I can get access to the text. And obviously this is the image that's next to it. Ultimately, the same thing works for titles. See, this is the text here. There's no link on this, so there's no need for that part. And then images, if I click on here, see, I can choose the image here and change it. So that's kind of a way how everything works in terms of the specifics of the insight parts of things. Concerning details like, okay, this is the sign-in form. It's a little trickier. Another way that you can do is to right-click and click on Edit Form. Obviously, this is the same way as going to the pencil tool. And then these are the different drop-downs. Obviously, the disclaimer is this one section. This is the text here. And things like the emails, all of these are already set up. Basically, right now we have little protocols inside here. So let's say that you wanted, things to say specifically here, new message from career certification program, Gambino. Right, so now we can be a little bit more specific. Once you see this coming up in your email, it will have that notification about the certification program, so you will be able to know where it's coming from. This is the email that it's going to right now, and ultimately the actions that we have instituted after an email is to have it redirect to the PayPal section here, and this area is actually just a short code from the PayPal site, so that part you don't have to toggle with at all. If you wanted to add more content or you wanted to change something on this page, I recommend, in terms of adding content, you can actually, this is a section, so whenever you want to do something with an entire section, essentially you deal with these areas here. So if you wanted to open up a space, you actually click on the plus sign, and you can actually add, essentially different rows here, a full row or something. But this is if you're creating from scratch. You would end up going over here to the left, and you can drag a text block, and ultimately you can begin to actually create content for yourself. But I believe the better way, if you wanted to do that, is to actually right-click on the middle section and duplicate, and that's going to create another section, and then you can manipulate this to what you need. If you want to delete that, obviously you just come to the X button here, and that just now deleted that section there. But obviously we can get as in-depth into this even by way of going into advanced and getting into things like codes and everything, but ultimately, I believe that from what you wanted in terms of using Elementor, this is kind of the basics. So whenever you're finished with whatever you've done in here, kind of like what I might have said to you about Visual Composer, You can preview changes here before even updating. And that's kind of a good way to make sure that everything is as you want it. Well, that's previewing, but this is how you will update things. So you need to click on here first when you're finished with everything. Once that's finished, you'll actually go to the menu item here and you'll click on exit to dashboard. And then you'll click on update right here. So if you don't do those two things, which is to update inside of the Elementor part and then to update out here, sometimes you may have a situation where you did changes inside of Elementor and basically you didn't see them when you updated. So they have a great robust system for backing up things. So that's where I'll just show you quickly here. If it was a case where you forgot to update outside of Elementor, inside of WordPress, you can actually come back here and down to the bottom you have your history, and then you can click on revisions and you'll see every single revision that was done for the entire time for the site, right? So I'm seeing here the different days revisions are being made, right? And you can actually go back and restore each version. So ultimately, it's not that the work will be lost if you end up forgetting to save on the other side, but obviously it will be harder because you'll have to figure out which one of these is the one that you need to restore. But that's pretty much it. Let us know if you have any questions. I made the changes that you requested. The only one that we're waiting on is the PayPal not working on mobile. For some reason, when PayPal goes into mobile, in certain phones, we're recognizing that it might not be working, and this is something on PayPal that we're trying to figure out. As you can see in our simulation, it works, but obviously we need to make sure that it works for every phone. So we're testing that, and we should be able to get back with you about that shortly. But other than that, let us know if you have any other questions, and yeah, thank you very much for watching.